Sunday, mother.
Beep.
And it's time for the All Effing Wrestling Show. What do we got on the show today, Mr. JFB?
We're going for a little bit different format. We're going to do the Full Gear recap. We're going to pick our favorite matches, our favorite segments. Not really a segment. So we'll figure your best 2 matches, your overall star rating, birthday balloons. What the hell was that?
What happened there? What was that?
What did you hit?
Why
I
can't I have?
anything.
I want balloons. What's going on?
I have no idea what the
Is there
hell.
a button you can push to get something like that? Anyways, let's start the show.
Yeah, let's just do the show. Hit it.
Coming to you live from the FN Worldwide Media Studios, located in parts unknown.
It's the All Effing Wrestling Show.
With your hosts, Canada Dry, and the JFB.
Tell me how it's priced. Tell me if the item is for sale. And tell me.
Good morning, afternoon. If I don't see it till later, keep my supper in the oven, not the microwave. That's just the cheap way to do it. I am, of course, your number one contender for the Limitless. What is going on with this thing? I am the Limitless contender. I am the JFB. James from
Is there a
Boston.
motion thing? If we do certain motions, something
We got
happens.
pop-up video going
I have,
on here.
I have upgraded to Ventura on my Mac, my MacBook Pro, and perhaps this is something like. See, I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm the JFB.
So we are doing for the main event. The balloons distracted us, and we got ADD. We are doing. We're gonna give the dirt on the dirt sheets. Let me introduce myself. I'm, of course, the patron saint of all of professional wrestling. I'm that gingered up, bubbly son of a bitch. My name is Canada Effing Dry.
Yeah, absolutely. We are joined, of course, by the Fearsome Foursome. We are the Fearsome Foursome, but we are joined by none other than, well, let's just say we're happy he's staying. He is the GM of Mayhem. He's right there. Talking about GM Joe. Say hi and how you doing.
GM Joe.
What is up, everybody? How are we doing on this fine Sunday morning or afternoon, I should say? I guess morning for Canada Dry.
Yeah, morning for Canada Dry. Hey, you know what?
Do you know? Sorry to interrupt you, but did you know that I'm the new North American champion in AFW?
Yes.
It's about time that belt was rechristened back to what it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
Yes.
Damn fake
And,
Canadian.
and as I won, I kicked Blake Lister's ass to the curb.
yeah. Out of the league.
Get the hell out of
Gone.
here.
Forever. Then we are joined by this gentleman right below us, probably the smoothest, if not the sexiest voice in all of podcasts. And we're talking millions of podcasts out there. Nobody is quite like our effing expert, Mr. Isaac. Say hello and how you doing?
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are on this fine planet we call the planet Earth. I am the effing expert, Mr. Isaacs.
Jeremy, so we had a bit of conversation yesterday, and you were only going to come on the show if you're able to watch Full Gear.
Yeah, and I did end up watching Full Gear, so I'm ready to talk about it.
The thing was, is you were going to go out and you were going to try to look for some hot, sexy lady.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so you didn't find it. You struck out. So you're here on the show today.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm here on the show today as a result of having nothing better to do than watch wrestling and talk to some nerds about wrestling. But I love you guys, though. So
Love you
We
too,
talked
Mr.
about the
Isaac.
line. Now you got to try this line next time.
something about being a podcast host, right? Can you tell me again what that line is, just so we know?
So you approach a pretty lady and you go, "Hey, have you ever had sex with a wrestling podcast host?"
I'm gonna have to give that one a shot and see what happens. I don't know.
Because you'd almost have to just burst out laughing after saying that.
You think that's got about a what, like a 2.5% success rate, maybe?
Well,
I
sometimes
mean,
the
honestly,
line-
it depends on where and what time. Like, if it's like 2 a.m. at a bar, it's probably real successful.
they're like, "Really? I can have sex with a wrestling podcast host tonight?"
Hey,
Right.
I will say this. When I first met JJB, when I first met Jess, I, in fact, told her I was not only just a wrestling fan, but had a wrestling podcast as well, and we're together. So, I mean,
Hey.
It kind of worked.
that it works. It does work.
You know, a lot of women love podcasts. They love podcasts about like chopping people up and then like discussing if they're guilty or not, though. Like that's kind of
funny
more their
Because that's the
They're bad.
important part is discussing the guilt or innocence part.
right.
It's funny because when I approach, sometimes girls approach me and they start talking to me, and somehow it leads to like, "Oh, I have a wrestling podcast," but I don't say wrestling. Usually, I say I lead off with wrestling with the paranormal because it's more something that they might be into.
Yeah,
So
right.
I'm talking about I do a wrestling podcast. Until they find out later, I've got like 7 podcasts.
Yeah, once they start getting into the layers and they're like, "Oh, what have I gotten into?"
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to try one of these lines out and see what happens. But well, I'll let you guys know how it goes.
we're
We'll
gonna
do that.
keep fingers crossed for you. Fingers, toes, you name it. We're
I
crossing.
think this should be a new segment on the All Effing show every Sunday. The exploits of the effing expert.
The exploits of the expert.
Or just like you take pictures. Like if I know you're saying no, but can I take your picture and show everyone who said no to me tonight?
Oh Jesus.
This girl turned me down.
That one might have some legal ramifications that I'm not
We're
willing
going straight from Jeremy,
approach.
trying to get Jeremy, special lady friend, to appearing on Dateline.
Stalker charges.
Well, it's all about consent, Jeremy. Like if you say, "Can I take your picture to show everyone who said no to me?"
And that's what they say. Get the hell out of here, you creep.
Well, guys, let's go. You know what? This is a special episode, and number one, we're joined by Noob. Welcome, Noob, man. We're going to talk about Full Gear because they're trying to change the format. This is going to be no news. We have a new format today just because we got a lot to go through, and we're going to talk about the effing dirt sheets. But before that, we're going to go into a Full Gear review. I, for one, was hoping and praying that this would be, and I know this is usually the pay-per-view that ends the year for AEW. Unfortunately, it's not. There will be a pay-per-view in December 30th called At World's End, where we will, in fact, have the final pay-per-view for the year. But Full Gear is always a special one. And every year, we say every year like they've been around for 30 years, but they haven't. But every year, Full Gear just brings it. And they seem to top every year. This was of no freaking exception. So I want to go, Canada Dry, your overall thoughts on Full Gear. What were your expectations and how did you feel about the pay-per-view?
Well, usually I ordered like 2 weeks in advance.
Yeah.
I think Fight TV stopped giving you credits, so I'm like, what's the point? But yeah, I got this the morning of. I ordered it, and AEW pay-per-views, they knock it out of the park every time. Like I don't remember. I think the worst pay-per-view was probably All Out.
Yeah,
just because it was so close to All In.
Yeah,
and that wasn't a bad pay-per-view at all.
It wasn't horrible. It was still good, but I think like this pay-per-view, it was stellar from top to bottom.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Golden Graham, your thoughts on this pay-per-view?
I absolutely love this pay-per-view. There wasn't one bad match on this card. Spoilers for our review. I mean, there was no anything that sticks out that says, oh, this is a bathroom break match.
Yeah.
And another thing I want to say, like, I know people have their issues with AEW and their weekly TV, but this is like AEW is like NXT. There may be issues with the week-to-week show, but every pay-per-view delivers, and there's nothing you can complain about.
Yeah.
Like even look at that pre-show, Golden Graham.
Yeah.
That the pre-show was stellar. Those
Yes.
3 matches were good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
There's, like, I have one little thing that I will talk about, but that's just because I wanted it, and there was no advertisement about it. So we'll get to that though.
Yeah, absolutely. F an expert, your thoughts on the pay-per-view?
I thought this was a great pay-per-view. And I'm glad that Joe Graham kind of made the comment about NXT because to me, when I watched this, particularly that ladder match, the tag match. Good afternoon, Dollywood. It reminded me a lot of those like 2015, 2016 NXT takeover events.
Yeah.
Just white hot from start to finish. Like, I thought this was a great event. I liked it very much. The only nitpicky thing that I have, still no damn devil, guys.
That's the only thing I was going to say.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was the big complaint.
I love the way it looked. I thought that the lighting of the stadium, and because it was at the Kia Forum, and those who don't know, that's where the Lakers play. Also the
Or
Clippers.
used to.
Yeah, used to. Yeah.
And what about the Los Angeles Kings? What kind of hockey fan are you?
Yeah, well, the Kings there play too. That's all right. I digress. We don't count the Kings. They were only relevant when Gretzky played for them for like one season. Okay.
One season.
One season. Yeah.
That's only one. It was several seasons, but only one season. Man, that's when they went to the Cup. But they looked different. It looked different. It had a different look and feel, especially from that very first match. Eddie Kingston, I thought was a big winner in this. I thought, what a great way to kick off the pre-show. Eddie Kingston retaining the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship in a really decent match. I thought it was actually really good. So,
you know what though? Get to that. Like, I even thought like the lighting from the pre-show to the main show, was vastly different.
Yes, yeah,
and I like it because it definitely gives it a different feel.
Yeah,
from the pre-show to the main show, and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah,
it did look great. The show looked fantastic.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to get into this card because we're already almost 15 minutes in.
Let's go with the first match. Our opening match was the trios match. We had Eddie with Eddie Kingston. We had Sting. The MJF Lakers outfit was everything. Absolutely, it was.
I can't believe Dollywood is saying nice things about MJF.
Oh my god! The Kings have only lost 3 games. Put some respect in the name.
I'm really like shocked that she's got some hockey knowledge here.
I'm really shocked that she's a Kings fan of all people.
That's because she's in the Carolinas. There wasn't a team there for the longest. So
let's just say that the Boston Bruins still have the best record in the East. I'm just saying they are the beast.
Let's say that the Canucks have the 3 leading scorers in the NHL.
That is true. That is true. They are the best of the West, the beast of the East. Everyone else doesn't matter. So let's, so we have the trios match. We'll go into the game next month. The trios match, Adam Copeland, formerly known as Edge. We got Edge. We got Sting. We got Darby Allin versus the trios of Christian, Nick Wayne, and of course we got Luchasaurus. Really quickly, let's go. I'm going by the seat of my pants here. Let's go to Canada Dry first. Really quickly, your thoughts on the match.
It was a great opener to start the show. Sting has that love affair going on. Ric Flair coming down, styling and profiling, baby. Woo! It was a good start, and it was a good way. Like you got everyone singing Edge's music.
Yeah.
it was brilliant. I enjoyed that as a starter.
Yeah, absolutely. Golden Graham, your thoughts really quick.
Absolutely loved the entrance. I loved Sting doing the inverse of Edge, them running back and forth along the entrance ramp.
Yeah.
It was a fun match. It was nonstop action. I love the fact that Edge and Christian didn't touch, still build up to that later on down the road.
Yeah.
It really got the you can take your Jeff Farmer and get out of here, Alex.
Big Sting equals real Sting. I know he'd get you with that one.
He likes NWO Sting.
Oh, God.
But yeah, like
Is that who he is, Jeff Farmer?
Yeah, Jeff Farmer played the fake Sting.
Yeah. Let's go to Mr. Isaacs.
I thought this was a hot opener. I love the color coordination of the baby faces here, all wearing the white and black with the all having face paint on. Like I thought that was dope. This was a hot opener. I liked it. It was a really good send off for Sting. Kind of a good feel good moment to start the show.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really funny too because she mentioned Dollywood mentioned Edge's face paint. I just really liked it too. She's a huge Adam Copeland / Edge fan. So it was really good to see him with the face paint. Kind of reminded me of when CM Punk teamed up with Darby and Sting and painted his face as well. Great match. I'm not going to go in any specific.
We have some people calling back to. Let's get their thoughts on this trios match.
Well, let's get Caleb on here. Caleb, man, what's going on, brother?
Yes, a must. How you guys doing?
Doing good. What do you think of the opening match, my friend?
The opening match is good.
Yeah.
The storyline with Edge and Chrissy Cage are the best storyline that I've ever seen.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's keep them on for the next match. We're going to go to the next match. It's going to be the International Championship. We're talking about Jon Moxley versus Orange Cassidy. This match was a banger of a match, and I thought this would be the most violent match that we would see tonight. I digress. It was not even close. But Orange Cassidy had to prove a point, and he proved it, beating Moxley. And how many orange punches did Moxley take? Like 25, 30, 37 and a half? I mean, this guy...
16?
No, just 6.
Oh,
6. It was, every time he got punched in the head with an orange punch, all I could think of was The Great Outdoors with John Candy, the movie Great Outdoors, where they're at the bar and the meeting the guy who got struck by lightning, and he's like 3, and the John Candy's like 3. He goes, 33. That's how many times he got orange punch. 33 times. Canada Dry, your thoughts on the second match of the night?
Now, I discussed with you guys at length, at nauseum, on why Orange Cassidy was going to win. And I got a lot of kickback.
Yeah.
I told you so.
Still the wrong call.
Because and this was great. Mox, he did the job, but he also looked strong because he looked like, what do I got to do to beat this mother effer?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And the blood, perfect reason to have blood.
Yep. Let's go with PCB. PCB, what's up, my brother? Tell me about what you thought of the second match.
The second match is good.
Yeah.
I'm not too happy about Jon Moxley losing, but it's time for Orange Cassidy to drop the belt at War Ends, the end of December.
Yeah.
And who's going to beat him?
I think it's some like Will Ospreay.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. Golden Graham, your turn, my friend.
I love the match, but if we hadn't just come off the heels of almost a year-long reign with Orange Cassidy in this belt, I'd be perfectly fine with him beating Mox right now.
Yeah.
But I don't know what else there is for him to do with this belt, honestly. Like, I guess we'll see, but I'll reserve judgment till then. But I love the match. Hard-hitting, fun.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely, Mr. Expert. Really quickly.
Yeah, I thought this was a great match. I'm usually not a huge fan of either one of these guys and watching them, but I mean, they both put on their absolute A+ game here. I love this match.
Oh, man. All right. Caleb, it was nice talking to you. We're going to let someone else jump on really quick. All right.
Okay.
All
Talk
right,
to you
brother.
later, Caleb.
Me
See you,
too.
Caleb. All right. You know what? Let's go to our third match really quickly. Timeless Tony Storm versus Hikaru Shida.
Hikaru.
I did not like this match. I thought this was the weakest match. We knew Tony Storm was going to win. It's ridiculous the amount of time they spent on her character. I didn't like the hip attack with the metal plate that kept falling out of her tights.
That was the best part.
That was hilarious. I
Yeah.
loved it.
It was hilarious, but it was just I felt like Sheeta looked horrible. I thought Sheeta looked really bad, and this was not a good run for the women's championship. I'm glad Tony Storm won. Canada Dry, your thoughts really quickly?
Yeah, the problem with this was, having Sheeta even being the champion,
Yeah,
she shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been nice to have. I can't even remember her name. Who's the former champion?
Soraya?
Yeah, Saraya.
Yeah.
Lose the title to Tony Storm.
I agree.
Like, that would have been a bigger match.
Yep, absolutely. Golden Graham.
And you could have had you could have had some debate whether Saraya was going to lose, because Saraya versus Tony Storm, you don't know that Tony Storm is going to win.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
I think that would have been better.
Yeah, Golden Graham, really quick.
The match was fine. I love Tony's character. Like, just her mannerisms, her facial expressions, her trying to hide the freaking pan in her, like, in the corner with these faces she's making. It was hilarious. But between this and the TBS women's title, this just feels like a nice and much needed reset on the women's division.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go with Mr. Isaacs really quickly, and we have a call in as well.
I did not care for this match. I didn't think it was very good at all. The AEW women's title seems significantly less important than the TBS title now. I think they got to work on that. But I am loving Timeless Tony Storm's character.
Yeah, absolutely. We got Justin, Juicy Justin, by the way.
Juicy.
Justin, what's going on, Mr. Hall of Famer?
Also known as the Laughatron.
Laughatron 5000. Yeah.
What's up, Justin?
And with the new operating system upgrade, he will be known as the Laughatron 6000.
Oh,
iOS. So,
first of all, two very quick things. Actually, three quick things. One, to all you guys on this podcast, it was an honor facing all of you in AFW.
yeah.
Honestly. Second of all, Joe, great match, brother. You put on a great match, and you're right. It came down to the swerving hey man.
Yep,
kind of
sure
thing.
did.
And JFB, one last thing.
Yeah.
I would be honored if you would induct me into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
At the end of the
the
season.
KFC is going to do it.
now, Justin, is your friend with you today?
Huh?
Is your
No.
friend with you
No,
today?
no, no.
Canada Dry is living through us today.
Yeah, pretty
No
much.
doubt. No doubt. Justin, what did you think of the Timeless Tony Storm and the Sheeta match?
I agree. Saraya should have just dropped it to Tony Storm. This would have been the perfect place to drop it to Tony Storm, but no, she had to drop it to Hikaru Shida had to drop it to Tony Storm. Like, okay. But there, like I agree with all of you. There was a hilarious part into this match that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go to our next match really quick.
Hold on. Can I say something? Can I address this comment real quick from Noob here?
Yeah.
You can't
Uh-oh.
just put all the Japanese women in the WWE and put them in one faction. They're all going to get lost doing that. You can't do that. Like,
Yeah, I concur. Let's go to our ladder match for the tag team champions. We're talking about Big Bill and Ricky Starks taking on Throne and Gobernable, Whoosh, and Dralistico, FTR, and Kings of the Black Throne. Here are my really quick thoughts. Number one, FTR looked weak. They looked horrible in this match. They were almost non-existent. House of Black Brody King had the two best spots, and it was the two best spots at the end of all of this. There was some great there was some great moves, some great high spots. Big Bill and Ricky Starks did take the championship. Canada Dry, go for it, man. What were your thoughts on this match, really quick?
Now, this is when the intensity on the pay-per-view really stepped up, because a ladder match always adds violence.
Yeah.
You're right. FTR didn't look like the dominant team, and I think that was on purpose.
Yes.
I think they're going somewhere with this to be like, we need to knock ourselves down in order to build ourselves back up. Yep. And I think it's on purpose. I can say that Ricky Starks and Big Bill. I just like saying Big Bill.
Big Bill.
Yeah, they just kick some ass, and there was some really good spots in this, especially by Kings of the Dark Throne.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go with Juicy Justin, Lafatron 6000.
Yeah, FTR did not look like they wanted to be there last night at all. Like, don't get me wrong.
Ash was injured at the end there. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. I'm not bashing FTR whatsoever. They're a great tag team, but they did not look like they wanted to be there last night. I'm actually really glad that Ricky Starks and Big Bill cut the titles, because they absolutely deserve a run with the titles.
Yeah, absolutely. Golden Graham, really quick.
For me, this was a 2-team match, because FTR did nothing. Ricky Starks and Big Bill did absolutely nothing except come in the end and take it. But I loved House of Black and I loved LFI.
Yeah.
I would have personally, I wish House of Black would have won the titles here, and then it just would have spun off into a House of Black, LFI, Blackpool Combat Club thing.
Yeah.
What does Los Abominables mean? I can't even say it.
I have no clue, but I know I can say it. That's all that matters.
Faction in Gobernables means the ungovernable faction.
Well, JFB, we don't.
I am fluent in Spanish as well. I'm an expert. Your turn, my friend.
I love this match. I thought it was great. I thought Drew Listico did a fantastic job. It was in a lot of great spots. The House of Black guys were amazing. This reminded me of those old school WWE ladder matches that were so good back in like the TLC era.
Yep.
I loved it.
Can I just say one more thing real quick?
Yeah.
Drew Listico's an idiot. He was in the ring by himself. He was like, "Nah, I don't want the titles. I'm going to jump over the rope and land on everybody."
Yeah.
And,
Lucha logic.
Yeah, it's lucha logic is what it is. Lucha logic. That's what we're going to call it from now on. Just lucha logic. Justin, man, it was a pleasure having you on, brother.
Talk to you later, Justin.
Have a good show, guys.
All right.
Later,
All right, so let's go to our next match. Julia Hart in the three-way with Chris Statlander and Sky Blue. Listen, everyone thought that Chris Statlander was going to just keep going with this title.
I
picked Julia Hart, baby.
So did I.
I picked Julia Hart, and here's the reason.
This was my one match I got wrong all night.
This is, well, besides my Fugazi pick of MJF and my fat thumb pick Jay White, this was the match I was the most worried about. I actually considered who this was going to be, and sure enough, I picked right. It was Julia Hart. She is the new TBS champion. Here's my problem with Statlander. This was not an epic run for the TBS title. I thought it was kind of bland because the women's division is suffering. Hayter's not there. Soraya's not wrestling all the time. I mean, it just doesn't feel like it's a full. Britt Baker, where the hell is she? You know, I mean, like we have all these people that are out. Thunder Rosa is out, so it was interesting to see they put the strap on Julia Hart. Canada Dry, you go first, really quickly, my friend. Your thoughts?
You know, Golden Graham and I have been speaking, and we've been talking about when Chris Statler loses the title.
Yeah,
that she's an obvious upgrade to go after the world title.
Yeah.
And like this is that Macho Man moment after the IC title is done.
Yep.
Now you're going after the world title.
Absolutely. I agree. Golden Graham, your thoughts, my friend?
I love this match. Like, it was better than I thought it had any reason being. Finally, you got Stats selling a great code blue.
Yeah.
Like, Sky put some snap on that thing, and it looked like it hurt. Like I said, this is clearly a reset of the women's division.
Yeah.
Now you can have the TBS title with Sky Blue, with Julia Hart, Willow Nightingale.
Yeah.
And you move Stat up for some much needed fresh blood in the world title picture.
Yep, absolutely. Mr. Isaacs, your thoughts really quick.
Sky Blue and Julia Hart, their best individual performances were in this match.
Yep.
This was a great match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. Really didn't have any complaints. The crowd was hot for it.
Yeah.
I dug it.
Yeah.
Without Statlander, though, I don't know if this match would have been good.
I agree.
Yeah, she's the glue that kind of held it together. Yeah. But I mean, those two individually, though, I've not seen them work as good as they did in this match.
They worked incredibly awesome. Alex Haney, you salty son of a bitch. What are your thoughts on the match between the three-way for the TBS title?
Well, here's the story, right? I fell asleep after this match. I missed the rest of the film. Okay.
Oh my God, no! It put you to sleep.
Well, it was like 7 o'clock in the morning. So
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex is over across the pond, man. They don't think of you guys when they do it here in the States.
They don't. Yeah.
To be fair, we got all in, so that was good. That was entertaining. But yeah,
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think you're talking about like Statlander going places. I think Julia's probably in the next year or two is probably going to be who they try and sort of build up around. What was it, Eamon?
Yeah.
Because I think Tony's very much fixated on, how do you put it, his own guys. You know.
She's still young and she's very pretty.
She's only 22, you know, so a lot to learn. What was it? And if you can get them to sort of stick about, you know, then great opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go to the Golden Jets. Jericho and Kenny Omega versus the Bucks. I enjoyed the match. I enjoyed the aftermath of Nick Jackson and Matt Jackson trashing the arena on their way out because they're petulant children. Canada Dry, your thoughts really quickly on the Golden Jets versus the Young Bucks.
So this match followed Swerve and Hangman Page.
Yeah.
And it took a bit to get into this match.
Yep.
Because it was just like you're going from that high spot to this. It was rough.
Yeah.
But eventually they got the crowd back into it. They got us back into it. And it was definitely a very entertaining match.
Yeah.
Once the cooling off period ended and you're like, okay, this is good. Apparently, according to their good friend Brandon Cutler, they're going to take some time off from wrestling for a bit.
Yeah, as well as they should. I think it's too much Young Bucks. Right
They can take as long as they need. As long as they need.
I don't think he's a fan.
I don't think so either. Golden Graham, your thoughts really quick.
Yeah, like I had no expectation for this match.
Yeah.
Just because like it was thrown together at so last minute. It felt like I enjoyed it because it's 4 great performers. And like you said, with the Bucks taking some time off, I think it's much needed. I think every wrestler should take some time off because it allows us to miss them. It allows just for everything. It's like their mini off season. And I think every wrestler should have it because they need it.
Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Expert.
Yeah, this to me was a really good match that did kind of fall a little flat.
Yeah.
Like technically it was fine, but it just, I don't know. This one just didn't really pique my interest too much. I think what preceded it was better. It just was just okay to me.
You've seen this match about 500 times since AEW started. It's the exact same match every time with the Bucks. You know, I mean that they don't entertain me at all. For that reason. I felt like if you could go and watch. You could announce a storyline next week for the Bucks, and you could go and watch any match that they've had and just pretend that was the match.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's it. Maybe that's what Tony can do. Maybe he just says, like, you just stay home, don't come back, and we'll just play one of your matches from like 3 years ago.
Well, CGI does amazing things these days.
Yeah. I mean, you don't even need to CGI it.
Well, we're getting to the point where I think we should probably go ahead and start talking about favorite matches and number of bells.
Yeah, we didn't even do the main events.
It doesn't matter, man. We're running. I want to have enough time to make sure that we are killing it on the dirt sheets, because I think that's going to be interesting as well. Well, let's talk about the last two matches then. Swerve versus Hangman Page. Absolutely 100% one of the most violent matches I've ever seen, and I like watching death matches. And this thing was as brutal as it could be and more. Just think about the most brutal thing you've ever seen and then times it by 10. Canada Dry, your thoughts on Swerve and
This was the best, I guess, hardcore match.
Yeah.
Or whatever you want to call death match.
Yeah.
Like whatever you want to label it, street fight. This was the best one I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Necessary use of blood, the staples to the point where Swerve was like, I don't care. Stapling himself in the head. Like the spot where Hangman is drinking Swerve's blood.
Yeah.
Just like everything.
How many have you seen, Aaron? 2?
But yeah, this was amazing. Props, and sorry, Golden Graham, they got the right person winning it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I go next so I can refute that?
Yeah, go ahead. Golden Graham, you're next, my friend.
I started off by saying I love the match, I love Hangman, I love Swerve, but the story they're telling, where Swerve breaks into a man's house and threatens his wife and kid, and then he wins? Nah. If you wanted Swerve to go over, fine. Tell a different story leading up to it.
Yeah.
Sometimes the good guy in life doesn't win.
Yes, you're allowed to. But this isn't one of those times where a good guy should lose, where you're threatening his wife.
Sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes the good guy.
I understand that
gets
sometimes.
his dick in the dirt.
Yes, good guys can lose. I understand that. Watch WWE all the time with Triple H. But the story that's being told, like, I hate to say, like, if I was Adam Page, I'd be like, I'm not doing this story.
Yeah.
I would have stuck my foot there. I'm like, you are not breaking into my house, threatening my newborn son and my wife, and then I'm taking the L. Tell a different story.
Staple Gun made their kid cry. They kept laughing.
Well, it made him laugh too
Wow.
hard. They didn't want him in therapy.
I saw that she shared a video. I have a group chat with her. She showed me the video of her son laughing. It's hilarious.
Listen, and I'll just say something about it as well. If the and I agree with you on what you've just said. If you take what Billy Corgan did in the NWA with a wee line on the set, right? To me, this is worse. Because you shouldn't be doing stuff like this.
Yeah.
Ever. It's not entertaining. For me, that sort of thing is not entertaining. I mean, there's been loads of times I've done it with Austin and all that. I mean, again, that was edgy when DDP did the stalking thing with, what was it?
Undertaker
and his wife. And Sarah.
That stuff just makes me uncomfortable. I've been trying to find to show you guys, because I think I mentioned it on the chat once. There was an indie promotion. It was really like, it wasn't like a big one, but it was and it was in the 2000s, and they did like a shooting in the ring, and I'm like, what is this all about?
Oh, you don't want to do that.
And sometimes you just need to. Sometimes you just need to. Was it just say no?
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got. Advertisers are the big thing. I mean, Tony should be thinking about. He's got a TV deal coming up. Does he really want to be doing these things? I
The
I think
good news is it was on pay-per-view. It wasn't on TV. So that
Yeah.
that
Did we
saved.
get everyone on this one?
No,
No.
and Mr. Isaacs.
No, I thought this match was great. I like the storytelling of it. I kind of agree with, well, I had the same thought as Joe. I picked Hangman to win this match because I thought, because what Swerve did was so dastardly, there's no way he could have went over here.
Yeah.
But he did.
But-
But with
You know
that
why I
aside,
picked Swerve though?
what's that?
Because he was getting the beats so much before the pay-per-view
Yeah.
that it gave me the feeling that he was going to get the win.
That was the one thing that made me think that Swerve might go over is when Hangman beat up Prince Nana this past Wednesday. That usually it's kind of a tit for tat.
Yeah.
You know, one person does something, then the next week the next person gets it, and whoever is the
And
odd
Swerve was
man
taking
out at
a
the
lot of
pay-per-view
beats
loses.
since he broke into the house.
Do you know
Yeah.
who had the beats on Full Gear? Hulk Hogan when he came out with the Acclaim and started rapping in Klingon. That was awesome.
I'll
All
say,
right, we'll see you later, Alex.
we'll see you, brother.
Have a good one, Alex.
I'll say this: it wasn't violence for the sake of having violence in the show. It was purposely told the story, and it was fantastic. Now I picked Swerve to win as well, but I don't think the right guy won. I think Hangman should have won because you're right, Joe. When you break into a man's house, you're going to do what it takes to make sure that ain't going to happen again. I mean, if somebody broke into my house and was torturing Jess or the kid,
Or your dogs. See?
Pop-up video.
Can I just say something real quick?
Is Jess like maybe controlling something in the other room? And she's like, yeah.
she's got a remote control. So real quick,
I have the remote now.
Dollywood's second to last comment about me getting on my soapbox. That rant would not be safe here on YouTube. Let's just say
no.
that.
That's why we got the new censor button.
Yep.
All right, let's go to our match, the final match, the final countdown, if you will. We are talking about Adam Cole because earlier in the pre-show, MJF got his. Well, we're not sure. First, it started out with a quad, then it was the hamstring, then it was his knee. Nick, that
And what about the ankle was the one that took the main punishment at the end?
Yeah, they took him in an ambulance, and in the ambulance, he goes off. All night, we talk about MJF not wrestling. Adam Cole comes out and says, I'm going to wrestle in place of MJF. And if you've ever learned a lesson, don't ever bet on the man, the one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest going up or downhill. That's all I'm saying. But Adam Cole comes out. An ambulance appears. MJF comes out. He runs down to the ring. Well, not really. He limps. And by the way, worst limp I've ever seen in my entire life. The kid has a better acting job on limping than MJF does. And MJF retains. He beats Jay White for the belt. There was a big celebration. I had mixed feelings about this. I did not think this was the greatest main event. I'll get into it real quick, but let's go Canada Dry. Canada Dry, you go first really quickly. Your thoughts on
I love that this was will this main event even happen? I love that.
Yeah.
That it was a story through the whole show.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Jay White is going to become the new champion. Like, I love the drama through it all. I love the storytelling. It wasn't MJF's greatest match, but it was still really fun, and I enjoyed it exponentially.
Yeah. Golden Graham, really quick.
I mean, I guess my biggest concern is if MJF isn't cleared to wrestle, how's Adam Cole cleared to wrestle? Like, that's my only gripe with this.
He has a boot on, damn it. Come on, Golden Graham. He had a boot.
But yeah, no, but like the match itself, I loved it.
Yeah.
Like, I give props to MJF too for sitting there doing that freaking elbow drop after the table collapsed when it wasn't supposed to. Good Lord. Like,
that cutter, or was it a bulldog?
Yeah, that cutter over the
Ooh,
top
that was
rope.
brutal. Ooh.
Which he almost did not do. He barely cleared those ropes.
But like, there's a lot of people online who are like, oh, this buried
Jay White.
Jay White. I'm like, not really. The guy was parading around with a title for a month that wasn't his.
Yeah.
He's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
I love Dollywood's comments.
Mr. Isaacs, your turn really quickly.
I thought this was a really good match. I didn't think it was great, but I thought it told a damn good story.
I like those comments now.
And yeah, I just, my only gripe is that I was disappointed there was no devil.
Yeah.
I was disappointed by that, but it was a really good match.
Especially with the amount of time that they stayed on air after the match ended. It was
I
like
was
a good
waiting for
6,
somebody to
7
appear.
minutes.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Favorite match and number of bells. Canada Dry, you go first. Favorite match of the night and number of bells.
My favorite match is the Texas Death Match. We'll just go with one match. How about that?
Yeah, just one match.
And,
Favorite match.
I'm going to give this pay-per-view 4.5 stars.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Okay. Golden Grand, favorite match, number of bells.
Favorite match is Texas Death Match. Got to give a special shout out to Will Ospreay signing with AEW. That would be my segment. And I'm giving this 5 bells. I was entertained from beginning to end. Like, I love this pay-per-view.
Yep. Mr. Isaacs.
Match of the night, Texas Death Match. Complete sweep, gentlemen. For a rating, I'm going to go with 4.25. Would have given it 4.5 had there been the devil.
Yep. Okay, here's my thing. I thought Adam Cole was going to turn on MJF and cost him the match.
It looked like they're hinting at it.
They were. And I think Tony Khan, I think that was the original plan. Tony Khan said, I don't want to pull the trigger just yet. Favorite match, by God, Texas Death Match. It's a 4-way. It was amazing.
There's really no
story.
other choice.
It was awesome. 5 bells. There was very small weak spots that were very much dug under 6 feet under the ground. Let's just face facts. That was a banger of a pay-per-view start to finish. And it filled my passion bucket. So let's get to
Joke of the week.
You want to know our average real quick?
Yeah, what's our
4.6875.
Yeah.
All right.
But do we have time to do joke of the week?
Yeah, we do. Let's go.
All right, let's do our joke of the week.
It's my friend Molly. Hey, Molly.
Hey,
Hi, Molly.
Hey.
How you doing? All right, here's our joke of the week.
Hey, this is Brett the Hitman Hart. Every day, people are mocked because they feel that dad jokes are the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. That's messed up. I believe that no one should have to fight for their humor. It's okay to dad joke.
Hello, one and all, in the all FN wrestling galaxy. It is better than your boyfriend. Lord Ryan Rich here with your official joke of the week. What do you call a rude cow? Beef jerky. Thanks, guys. Enjoy your Sunday. We'll see you next week.
Hell yeah.
That was great.
Oh, God.
So we don't even need to play the intro. Let's just get into it.
Yeah, let's get into it. So there's been a lot of news about the NWA. This is kind of what started this and it kicked it
But it's not just NWA. It's so much more.
It is. But what really kind of percolated this was especially in our comment threads on our website and especially on our Facebook group page, was the NWA is in financial straits. They're going to be cutting talent. They're going to be cutting costs. They're going to be doing this. They're going to be doing that. People are not happy. It all comes from one source. Yeah, I thought the better than your boyfriend line was a joke too, because he's not. But Canada Dry. Wait, what do you think? Who is this entity that has been perpetrating all this falsehood?
Is it John Houseman or what's his first name?
Nick
Houseman.
Yeah.
Nick Houseman. He's got this line down the road. We worked for wrestling, He worked for all these different companies but now he's got the House of Wrestling.
Yep.
.com.
Yep.
And he's got this bug up his ass about NWA for some reason. Like for me, he's going out purposely. I know he might have a source. It might be just some guy who doesn't know anything, because we had EC3 on Sports Kita podcast.
Yeah.
And he's saying all this stuff like the cocaine spot cost them the CW deal. It's like there was never ever announced a CW deal.
Yeah.
Billy Corgan said the TV deal is for 2 networks.
Yep.
They're still there. And you think like if WWE stole the CW deal from NWA, that's called breaking a contract. That's going to be a lawsuit. That's called tampering. Just because they do a cocaine spot on a pay-per-view, I don't think that gets you out of contract.
No.
So it's just pure like making shit up.
I'm a little late with the buzzer. Yeah, hold up the finger.
Shit is not a bad.
Oh, that's true. You're right. Yeah, I'm only going by George Carlin's 7 words you can't say.
7-man words.
What are those words, JFB?
Yeah. So,
beep, 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 beep. No.
I feel like Kenneth from 30 Rock.
He says he reached out to Dr. Dre and he says it's all nonsense.
Yeah.
Dr. Dre.
I mean, let's. You know what? I don't want to go in order. Let's really just talk about this. Let's make it a round robin.
So I just
5 Christmas trees done with 5 Christmas trees.
5 Christmas trees. My God. What the?
So
are you even doing?
That's a proper censorship.
So like this whole this, especially this Nick Houseman thing, like it for me it really picked up after Brawl Out. And I find it absolutely hilarious because CM Punk went out there and said these dirt sheets suck. They all are making up stuff. People are leaking stuff to him. And every time this man talks, he's a dirt sheet saying CM Punk's camp tells me this.
Yeah.
To me, it's absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like honestly, it feels like people, especially to Dave Meltzer, I feel like people are intentionally feeding these guys daft information just to make them look a fool.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what picks my ass. Okay, so Fightful gets an interview with Billy Corgan and gets the proper information. Yet they're still posting this Houseman shit.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, you're going to post Houseman shit, but you got the facts straight from Billy Corgan's mouth.
Yeah.
And yet you're still going to post this. Like everyone are posting these lies. Just to like, well, we got to get clicks too.
Yeah.
Like, where's the integrity?
Well, there isn't, because there's no way to hold them accountable. So my question to you guys is, you know, you have the ability for the press. Press has free press. You know, the ABC, NBC News, they have the freedom of the press. But they have to hold themselves accountable, because if they produce fake news, as a former president loved to say about CNN and anybody else, you could technically go after them for libel. You have libel laws that prevent you from just making shit up. And so why are we not holding the same standards to the wrestling dirt sheets that we are to everybody else?
So
I think the reason for that is that I'm not an expert on journalism. I'll just throw that out there. But I kind of talked about this on Magic a little bit yesterday. The journalistic ethic is that you're supposed to get, I believe, 2 sources before you run with a story.
Yep.
So I think the way they get around libel is that they say, according to sources, this is what's going on. So they're not just saying, I'm saying this is going on. These anonymous people told me that this is going on. But the problem with that is that who are we talking to? Like, we don't know who these sources are. We don't know if there's 2 of them, because who knows if Nick Hausman even knows journalistic ethics. who are these two people? Are they people that have an axe to grind? Are they people that are in the know? Are they people that think they know but they don't and might have heard a rumor? We just don't know. And it's getting to the point to where with wrestling journalism, I almost only trust Fightful. Because I think all the other ones suck. I mean, growing up, I was a Pro Wrestling Torch newsletter subscriber. I've mentioned this before. When I was 10 years old, I got the literal newsletter folded up in the center and stapled, and I would get it delivered to my house every week.
Yeah.
But that was back when wrestling journalists were actually journalists. But then when the internet hit and the .com boom came up, it's like everybody became a copy and paste journalist then.
Yeah.
So people would just post
that's what I
something.
wanted to say. Like, I think they get around it because I don't really think most of these people are considered journalists in the sense of the word journalist. It's more like they're rebloggers, like at best.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I would agree with that. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, they're the copy and paste generation of journalists.
Well, yeah,
about
but then they have their breaking story that's straight from House of Wrestling.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, the technology is set up in a way which facilitates all this, because essentially what's happening with a lot of these websites is just RSS feeds.
Yeah.
So you may think they're posting news, but they're not. All it's doing is it's looking at what was it, metadata, and it's pulling it in, and it's seeing, and the issue is as well is the analytics behind things. What was it? If a big story's breaking, even if it's false, immediately these algorithms are looking at social media and looking at the trending and saying, "I need this on the site."
They got a storm brewing in Jim.
Oh my God!
Who just get executed?
It's raining on them.
I know.
We got cloudy and the rain started.
Where the ship pops up?
This is like that guy who was on the court TV with a dog face.
It's raining down.
It's like, Your Honor, I'm sorry, I'm not a dog.
Yes.
Or what about Butt 3000? Remember that one?
Oh yeah. Quite often. I mean, here's the thing. So Mike Johnson, who writes for Pro Wrestling Torch and is someone that I've met and have talked to multiple times, he's a great journalist because he does the research and he does what needs to be done in order to make sure that what he's reporting is right and is true. And so, like, you need to have that integrity. And you're right, it's clickbait is what it is. Like, I like the fact that we can report stuff on our website and we can talk about the news, and we try to go with reliable sources. And if it's House of Wrestling, generally, I don't even read it because they've been proven they're 99.9% wrong out of 100%.
Well, here's the thing about this Nick Hausman asshole. Would he say this about WWE, AEW? Probably not.
No.
Because NWA is small enough, he can try and kick them and try to pick on them, try to take food out of their mouths.
That's why I said I suggested to Aaron that this episode should be known as the shithousery of wrestling.
And then when we censor, there'll be a big piece of shit that comes up.
Honestly, what it comes down to, and it's just in journalism as general, is especially in this day and age, everyone wants to be first. No one wants to be right.
Yeah.
Is what it comes down to.
Yeah. I mean,
and I'm very proud that we posted the right story on our website. We posted the right story on our Facebook.
Yeah. I mean, the thing to remember is we live in a 24/7 world where technology has given us the ability to know the news. Like, I knew the second that Hamas bombed Israel because it went right to my phone.
Yep.
In seconds of the first bombing and the first attack, I already had that information. And that's what we live in. We live in a 24/7 news cycle where you constantly have to have content. And so I think that it ups the ante of saying, well, we got to be first, because if we're not, somebody's going to break the story. And this isn't where you know, like you had a morning newspaper and an evening newspaper. Like you got to get that stuff out. And I think a lot of these companies, because they get advertising revenue from your clicks and everything like that, they are like, you know what? It doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter if it's right. Let's just get it. And then if it isn't, we'll go back and we'll say, oh, we want to reclassify.
No, but here's the thing,
They won't
JP.
even
No
do
one
that.
posts retractions.
No, they don't. You're right.
They won't even post a retraction. You know what they'll do? They'll write a new article saying this is now the truth.
Yeah. But
And that's like they didn't even post the first time.
Yeah. See, the thing is as well, and I know, Aaron, we spoke about it, and in this situation, it's what was it? We've got to look at it from the perspective that we knew that it was a total lie because of what was it? Certain people know as well, you know.
Yeah.
But was it? But sometimes we don't have the benefit of that, you know. I mean, what was it? How many times has Meltzer posted something that's a total lie, you know? What was it called? But he on the other side, he's very savvy now with it online, you know, because he doesn't say it is or it isn't. He says, oh well, it could be. It's a sort of maybe yes, maybe
Well,
no.
here's the thing, Alex. At no time did I message Natalia Markova
No,
and
I
ask
know.
her if this was. I know. Just let me clarify for people.
But some I'm not mentioning the name, but he's been on the show and he's posted on the group, you know, in the comments. So we know, and we knew anyway. I mean, it's not about reaching out to connections and understanding that, you know. It's just about how do you formulate that, you know, and what was it? It's not going to change. I mean, it's not real journalism for a start.
Well, it's like Billy Corgan is posting, "This is the truth."
Yeah,
and it's not as click. You know, no one wants to click on the truth. They want to click on the outlandish lies.
Well, we live in a world where people thrive on negativity. They don't want to see positive stuff.
Can we just point out the fact that did any of the five of us ever imagine in a million years that we would be saying something nice about Dave Meltzer? And the fact that he probably has more integrity than Nick Housen.
Yeah, absolutely it does. Yeah.
Holy crap. Well, guys,
have you seen this Nick Hausman guy?
No.
Nope.
His face is very punchable.
He used to do a video podcast on YouTube. He was part of like Wrestling Inc.'s podcast. So I've seen him before.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
let me ask Jeremy, would you punch him?
I'm not going to admit to punching somebody on the air.
No, you don't have to say you are going to, but would you?
If I had good reason to, yeah.
Okay.
I would.
So I've got a question, and it's not necessarily related to wrestling. It's more related to your industry, JFB. And I know the entertainment side of things is probably just as bad, if not worse, with some of the rumors and stuff that float about. How does that bit get dealt with, like a conversation like this with people that I've got something in that sort of environment? How do they deal with it? You know,
they sue I mean, if you know, let's say somebody comes out and says, "Oh, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively are getting a divorce," and it may or may not be the case. They'll sue for libel. I mean, they do it all the time, and it's gotten to the point now where, like, like the National Enquirer and all them, and they don't really matter because, you know, they talk about Bat Babies and Werewolf Boys and all this other stuff. But like Hollywood Reporter, Variety, your big sources for entertainment news, they are super careful on what they report and what they don't report. Because studios will sue, actors, directors, they all do it. I mean, they all make sure that you're not affecting their brand at all, 100%. So
do you think part of the reason it sort of it's been allowed in wrestling is because it's got that, for want of a better way of putting it, well, wrestling's fake, so it doesn't really matter what we say.
Yeah.
What was it? You
Yeah,
know,
I mean, like wrestling journalism is such a small little corner.
Yeah.
Yep. So But it does affect people's. I mean, it does affect people's lives. You know, you hear about what was it? Soraya, for example.
Yeah.
What was it? You know, what was it? They couldn't. They went out their way to. What was it? To like, because she was at the top, made sure she made that down to the bottomest, the lowest it could be. You know, and the same people now. What was it? Are now trying to like praise this amazing comeback story. Robert Downey Jr. is a perfect example in the entertainment world. You know, they all took they all made an absolute mockery of him, and there's a lot of reason why he doesn't do a lot of interviews with people, and it's because of what he did when he was at his lowest, and that is, you know, and nobody reached out to help him. And when somebody else sort of reached out to help him, he's the ones he's looked after, you know, since he made it back up, you know. And sometimes you've got to think of the consequences as well, because sometimes when somebody's if you're going to crap on somebody on the way up, sometimes that you need to make sure that you don't do that, because you might need them on the way down, you know. And with journalism in wrestling, in particular what Tony Khan's done, what an opportunity. He's flying media people out to events, you know, and what was it, and giving them access to something totally different that was never been done. Well, I don't know, maybe back in the day the journalists was there, but certainly the WWE's never done that, you know. And he's flying them, and from what I've heard, he's paying for people's hotels and things like that, you know. And they're getting
maybe we should be getting in on this.
You know, but,
get us some media credentials so we can go to these media scrums and everything.
Yeah,
I agree.
I'll ask Chris Statlander a
So I have a question.
Okay.
House of Wrestling,
or
Ringside News, which is worse?
Ringside News. Ringside News.
Ringside News hasn't been bad for a long time since Buddy stepped down.
Yeah.
They still have that image with me. I don't.
Yeah.
I still read what they put out. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know what I say to them? Fuck both of them.
When you're taking political aspects into things as well, with the racism and the homophobia that Ringside News has been that's done as well, I think there's no coming back from that, you know. But was it?
They had some really shitty posts with what's her name? The Concrete Rose.
I can't remember her name.
Nyla Rose.
Yeah, Nyla Rose.
Oh, Nyla,
Rose,
yeah.
You know,
Concrete Rose is Sunny Kiss. Sorry,
Have you seen what Ryback's? I mean, Ryback's. I know something you're thinking of Ryback's. His posts are hilarious. So he actually did one. What was it for the big reveal that Tony did with Will Ospreay? And it's like, I woke up this morning and I had all my friends and my fans that were DMing me. Is it me? Is it me?
Oh my goodness, that's
so ridiculous.
The shoulder's not ready yet, so it's not me, unfortunately. But maybe at some point it will be.
His shoulder. He's not cleared from his shoulder injury yet to be an active wrestler.
And he's been saying this for years.
Maybe Ryback, it would have been a possibility, but your ship has sailed, buddy.
All right, guys, that is time. We are ready to wrap. Hey, there's multiple ways you can help us out. One of them is signing up for one of our tiers on YouTube. If you want to give $1, make a special comment and give us $1 or $2 tip. Now, if you want to give us a nice big bag of cash, well, you can go ahead and deposit it into the bank and then send it us through PayPal. BigShinyMatrix@hotmail.com sends it directly to our PayPal account. That is where you can help us as well. But if you want to show the world exactly how much you love effing wrestling and all our podcasts and all our shows, all you got to do is just go to ProWrestlingTees.com/effing wrestling, where you can get the All Effing Wrestling shirt. You can go ahead and get the original middle finger shirt. You can get the sharpshooter action or the Hot Wheels shirt, my friend, because that is where it's at and that's what it's all about.
So right now, at Pro Wrestling Tees, for the next week or so, you can get all these shirts at 20% off.
20% off because of Black Friday. Black Friday, my friends. Now,
no coupon codes needed.
Nope, no coupon codes needed. Now, if you want to give flowers to the people and the wrestlers that came before us, one of them had actually a show called The Flower Shop. It was Adrian Adonis, and you can get the adorable Adrian Adonis shirt at ProWrestlingTees.com/ADONIS. Adrian Adonis, where you can get all of your Adrian Adonis.
We need a flower shop shirt. Doesn't even have Adrian's
come up with
picture
a
on it.
flower
Just the flower shop.
Yep. I'm gonna
And
have
on
a
the back
can,
it says no lollies.
have a can to dry. Mr. Haney, the Golden Graham, the Mr. Isaacs. I am the JFP.
And sometimes in life, friends betray you, lovers leave you. Sometimes you get knocked on your ass, and sometimes the storm clouds come and rain on you, just like JFP in the middle of this show. But I promise you, the sun will come out.
Tomorrow.
The sun shines just like over Golden Graham's head. You know, you can reach out. You know, it's okay to be down.
Yeah.
It's okay to be down. It's okay to be depressed. Sometimes it just happens. But it's important
Especially
not
after
to.
a Young Bucks match.
Yes, I know. And it's important just not to stay there. Reach out to your friends. Reach out to us.
Go for a pee.
Yeah, and we'll pick you up. We'll help dust you off and teach you to just keep fighting.
Ding, ding, hit it. This has been an effing worldwide media production. You can find us on all social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and others. Head over to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/effing wrestling. And while you're there, click like and subscribe. Want some swag? Head to our store at prowrestlingtees.com/effing wrestling. You can find all these links and much more at our awesome website, effingwrestling.com. As the JFB always says, you can book it.